Hello everyone and welcome to PendulumEdu, and in this session for vocabulary I am right here to discuss a few new words with you and discuss this particular article. So the article heads as Until Vaccine on Unlock 5. Now when I say until vaccine, which means like till the time we have the vaccine, what about the unlock stages that are unfolding every particular week or month? Unlock moves should continue to protect the vulnerable as the economy shifts gears. Now, as the economy moves and it changes gears, it is going from first to second to third, like the speed is increasing. Similarly, it is relating it to the gears. As the economy changes gears, the major emphasis should be to protect the vulnerable. Now, vulnerable is an adjective which means those who can be or who are easily harmed or influenced. So when we say that those who are easily harmed or influenced, we are talking about the section which is not capable enough to protect itself from the pandemic. There we talk about lack of food, lack of basic necessity, I would say. So if we talk about masks and sanitizers, we can afford it, but there are people who cannot even afford these. So we need to protect the vulnerable, otherwise the ambit or the flow of this pandemic or the virus cannot be controlled. Now, it means if you talk about Hindi meaning, it is something that is आसानी से नुकसान पहुंचा जा सके. So जिनको आसानी से नुकसान पहुंचाया जा सकता है. Moving ahead, India's fifth round of unlock regulations for October, allowing a further expansion of public activity, mainly in education, entertainment, and business conferences, comes at a time when COVID-19 transmission is steady in many cities. Steady, which means it is continuous. The growth of or the spread of this virus is steady. It is continuous, which means nirantar. Okay. Nationally, though, the new infections being added every day at about 60,000 represent a decline in recent days, as per Johns Hopkins Coronavirus Resource Center data. Now, they say that nationally, if you talk about the new infections that are being added, which are about 60,000, okay, and it's like this is a decline in the recent days if you talk about. The stringent March-April lockdown. Stringent is again an adjective which means strict. Hindi mein hum kehte hain kathor. So the stringent lockdown in the March and April that we had, and the subsequent measures to unlock the economy to prevent an equally debilitating crisis to livelihoods, have made India an uncommon case study. Now, number one, it is saying this unlock stages or the unlock stage 5 as fifth round. It has come up at a time wherein the spread of the virus is continuous. It is steady. There is no, I would say, no control yet. Still, the unlock stages are coming one by one. Secondly, the strict lockdown that was followed in March and April, after that, it would have been controlled if the lockdown would have extended. Indirectly, the writer wishes to say so. And at present, if we are reopening the economy by phase, it is what? It is to prevent an equally debilitating crisis to livelihood. We are trying that livelihood, there are people, because of the lockdown, there were people who were away from their services. So few of them, see, those for whom work from home was possible, they could earn the livelihood. But for those, this is not possible. This was not the case. how would they earn their livelihood, right? So to not debilitate, to prevent debilitating crisis to livelihood, we did this, or the government did it, and this at present has become such a case study which is so uncommon to have. Debilitating, it is an adjective which means that weakens the part. So it can be anything, किसी चीज को कमजोर बनाना, that is debilitating. Okay, that is debilitating, कमजोर बनाना. The decision to allow states to consider reopening schools and coaching centers after October 15 for students who wish to optionally attend will prove a difficult one, considering new research evidence based on data from Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh pointing to a high prevalence of infection. Prevalence is noun which means the presence of infection, like prevalent, like something that is present somewhere. So it's a noun which means the presence of something, किसी चीज के होने की स्थिति, ठीक है, present होने की, तो उपस्थित होने की आप कह सकते हैं, of infection among children who are contacts of virus cases in the same age group. So this could increase the number of cases and chances that it could, again, the virus could spread frequently. Slowing community spread is bound to become more complicated since governments blame careless attitudes for continued transmission, notably in Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So they say that community spread is what has to be controlled at present. Individual spread is something that can be controlled slowly and gradually, but community spread is something that we all have to take charge of, and we have to make sure that we control it. Reason: community spread is increasing the infection rate at, like, it is growing immensely, right? So this is important. But why is this not controllable, or why is it getting more and more complicated? The reason is the government is playing blame game. It is putting blames on somebody else, but nobody is taking charge of and accountability and responsibility to control it, to come up with ways to control it. And significantly, Kerala and Tamil Nadu's example has been quoted here. While essential movement for economic reasons, including use of public transport, is unavoidable, indifference towards safe public behavior is extracting a huge social cost. Now they say that, okay, for the economic reasons, we know that use of public transport is not avoidable, it's unavoidable. Indifference towards safe public behavior is extracting a heavy social cost. Indifference to safe public behavior, what are people? See, if you're traveling in a public transport and people are not taking precautionary measures, they're not paying heed or attention to safe public behavior amid the pandemic, it is actually having a heavy cost for the entire country. Like, the entire country has to bear the cost, because the infection is spreading at a very great rate, right? Huge rate. So it says that fine, if in case use of public transport is unavoidable, agreed, but people have to have this sensibility, this logical thing, that they have to follow the safe public procedure and they have to come up with this safe public behavior. But if still they are not coming up with it and are not doing it, then it's of no use. See, it's of harm to anyone and everyone. Even in the face of a deadly pandemic, governments are taking a benign view of recalcitrant people who do not wear masks even on buses and trains, spit in public and crowd commercial locations. Now, they say that amid the deadly pandemic, see, usually government never paid heed to sanitation, right, and other things. But amid the pandemic, the writer says, still government is taking a benign view. So benign is an adjective which means kind, gentle, mild. So the government is taking very बहुत ही कहते ना एक soft decision या एक soft action ले रही उनके against. It is giving a benign view of recalcitrant people. Recalcitrant is again an adjective which means uncooperative people, जो कि rude हैं, जो कि cooperate नहीं कर रहे, जो कि harsh behave कर रहे हैं, right? The uncooperated, जो कि आप कह सकते हो उत्तेजित लोग हैं, या फिर जो obstinate हैं, जो जिद्दी हैं, मैं कहूँगी उत्तेजित से ज़्यादा better word होगा जिद्दी. वो इस चीज़ को follow ही नहीं करना चाहते, वो mask पहन नहीं रहे हैं in public. Okay, they're spitting in public and other commercial, like public places. So, what is happening is, because of all this, the government is still not taking a stand, still not taking actions, and just sitting quietly and having a gentle view of it. Like, okay, fine, everything is running. So this has come up with a negative image or the picture of the government. During the monsoon and winter months and the festive season, polite, persuasive enforcement would be central to reduce infection rates. I mean, the festive season, we need polite, very soft, but persuasive enforcement. Persuasive, that is an adjective which means that leads or that is capable of influencing people or convincing people. Okay? So we need those reforms or enforcements. Among the relaxation measures in the October unlock phase is permission for cinemas and multiplexes to open at 50% capacity, but the risks surrounding enclosed spaces and transmission from asymptomatic individuals is real. Though government has permitted that, okay, cinema halls can open up to 50% of their capacity, but at present also the risk is huge, it's real, because though people, we see there are numerous cases wherein people are infected with the virus, but they are asymptomatic, right? So that's again a point to consider. Viewed against the enhanced risk of environments where masks are removed for eating and drinking, such as cinemas and restaurants, these entertainment options may not have wide appeal in the pre-vaccine phase. So they're saying this may not be a welcome decision, probably. And we could have, let's say, negative aspects to it, and we'll have to look deeply into this like what effect or impact would it have. We'll have to have a closer look on it. This is what the government wishes to let us know. So the writer says the same, and moving ahead, the writer says, while the economy shifts gears in the activity phase, like it is drifting, it is moving, okay, ahead, the center should be focusing on improving the understanding of the health impacts of COVID-19. Now, it's the duty of the center that they need to ensure the well-being of people. They need to come up with, I would say, stringent rules to be followed, and if needed, see the lockdown process, if it would have been extended, probably there would have been a better outcome of it. Like, we just assume, we never know what it would have come up for the economy, but anyways, how to control it, the center has to come up with other ways to think. Disappointingly, while it has emphasized massive recovery rates from the infection, it has failed to standardize testing. Standardize is a verb which means has failed to bring, standardize means to bring something to a level of implementation. Okay. And reporting methods among states. So it has failed to standardize testing, like किस हद तक implementation को process करना चाहिए वो नहीं हुआ, and publish Fine-grained data. Fine-grained is an adjective which means detailed. Data. एकदम बारीक जिसे हम कहते हैं. Data on types of tests carried out in each state. इसमें भी fail हुआ है. Anonymized patient histories. Anonymized is again an adjective which means unknown. Like you don't know, they are nameless, जिनका कोई नाम नहीं है, बेनाम. Okay. Patient histories, post-recovery status for complications and mortality. Repeated emphasis on a large number of recoveries which were expected anyway, but without the necessary caveats. Now, see, there were repeated emphasis was required on large number of recoveries. We knew this was anyways needed, that we need to emphasize on large number of recoveries. It is important, but without the necessary caveats, maybe encouraging millions to lower their guard. Without the necessary caveat, that is a noun which means caution or warning. So see, they have recovered, but they had to उनको भी एक कहते हैं एक warning, एक caution. They had to be aware of, like they can get it again, or they might have to be, see, they have to anyway. Anyone who has already recovered or is going through the phase or is not even, we have to follow these safe public behavior, right? That's important. Every effort to relieve the citizens' fatigue over COVID-19. Fatigue is noun, which means this dullness, like log thak gaye hain, thakawat. Fatigue, tiredness, like people are done with it. That is fatigue, it's noun. Over COVID-19 should be made to relieve this, but the goal is to preserve health until a medical breakthrough is made. Medical breakthrough is a noun which means a situation or a condition which brings something positive with it. Okay? Which brings something positive with it. Alright. So that is medical breakthrough. Not just medical breakthrough, any breakthrough. Breakthrough is something, if you would say something that it's a breakthrough if that comes up suddenly and brings something really good for you. Okay, you were trying to do something and you achieve something, so that is a breakthrough for you. So we are waiting for medical breakthrough, which we are waiting for the vaccine to come up, and so that we can lead a normal life. Like things could be back to normalcy, which people are at present waiting. We all are waiting for it. So this was the entire article for today. This was what the writer had to say, and this is what I had to say to you people. I had to convey the same. These were the words, and we have given the list of the word in the description below. Click on the link, go to the site, and get the list of the words right there. Also, we're going to give you a comprehensive list for every month's vocabulary that we discuss with you on these sessions every particular day. Alright, I will see you soon in the next session. Till then, keep learning and growing, learners, and not to forget to hit the like button to the video. Also subscribe to the channel for more sessions with us. Thank you so much.